Hello, you are here for a 10-minute, super simple core workout that is even safe for prolapse. I know how difficult it can be to get started on an exercise regimen when you're dealing with prolapse and you're worried that whatever you do, it's going to make it worse. So I've created a 5-exercise circuit, and we're going to go through that circuit twice. Each exercise is going to take 50 seconds, and we're going to have a 10-second transition period to get into the next exercise. So I hope you're ready. You don't need a thing. All you need really is a place to lie down. So what I like to use to time is this little Gym Boss timer. I always have one set and lying around where I enjoy working out so that I can just keep track of my time when I'm doing things like this, like a core workout that I want to track my time on. So we're going to start with pelvic tilts. So you're going to be just lying flat, your knees are bent, your hips are steady, your knees and your ankles are in line. Maybe you can touch your heels with your fingertips right about there. And you want to be sure your knees are not buckling in or going out. Everything is linear and your arms are just down by your side. And when we're doing our pelvic tilts, with our exhale, we are tilting our pelvis downward. So we're strengthening our abdominal muscles here. And then with our inhale, we're pulling our low back, arching away from the floor, creating space between our low back and the floor. So this is a good 50-second warm up for your low back. Okay, so we are going to get started in 10 seconds. So just line yourself up, everything nice and relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. And here, as you exhale, you gently press down. And as you inhale, you lift up. As you exhale, you press down. And as you inhale, you lift up. As you exhale, you imprint your low back, and then inhale and you lift up. Exhale, imprint, and then inhale and create a space in your low back. Perfect, that was 50 seconds. And now I'm just gonna scooch up so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna do alternating leg slides. So from the same position here, your left leg is gonna extend out and then pull it back in, and then it's the other leg's turn. Reach and pull. And see how my whole torso is just staying still? Just a reach and a pull. A reach and a pull. So no rocking around. Perfect. That was 50 seconds. And now we're going to do our bridge. So we stay right where we are, knees in line with our hips, ankles in line with our knees. And from here, you're going to exhale, lift right to there, and then you're going to lower back down, inhaling, and then you do it again. Exhale, lift. You should feel your muscles all through here, and then lower. Exhale and lift. And slowly lower. Exhale and lift. Slowly lower. Exhale and lift. Slowly lower. Exhale and lift. That was our last one, and slowly lower. Good, now we have our dead bugs. So we're gonna do these super beginner style. So feet flat on the ground, lift one leg, lift the other leg. Super simple. Everything here is stable. That's what the focus is on when you are just beginning core exercises, is stabilizing. So you don't want to feel like you're rocking around. Everything is nice and controlled while you're doing these. Breathe out, breathe in. Out, breathe in. Nice and stable. So we're not doing things like crunches. Good, that was 50 seconds. And now we have quadrupeds. So you're gonna flip over onto your hands and knees, flat as a board. Everything's flat, okay? And then it's just a slide. You're looking down at your fingertips. Your abdominals are engaged. You're not tilting. There's no like rocking around or anything like that. It's really stable. Like if there was a bowl of soup on your back, you wouldn't be spilling it. Okay, and after this, we're gonna go back to the beginning. We're gonna go back to our pelvic tilts. Perfect. That was 50 seconds. So now we're gonna flip around back to the start. Pelvic tilts. Align yourself. You exhale. You press your low back down, utilizing your abdominal muscles, and then you go back to neutral. You pass through neutral, and then you create space in your low back. Exhale. Imprint. Inhale. Create space. Exhale, imprint. And if you are dealing with prolapse, like I was, you can start connecting the dots between your breathing and your sensations. When you're inhaling, what does your pelvic floor feel like? When you exhale, what does your pelvic floor feel like? Inhale. And last one, exhale. Good, and now we transition to leg slides, right? So this is where we alternate, scooch up a little bit, and this leg scooches and slides, right? Down and pull. So stabilization here. So if you're dealing with prolapse, one thing that we want to avoid for now is anything that flexes your spine, so crunches are out for a bit. So that's why we're not doing any crunches here. Anything where we're flexing our spine, curving our spine. We just need to get these foundational movements down to get our breathing in line with our moving. Perfect, everything nice and steady here. Good, now we're gonna do our bridging. So heels in line with our hips, in line with our knees, shoulders away from our ears, arms down by our sides. Exhale, lift, squeezing these muscles and lower. You wanna have everything flat, like you wouldn't wanna be tilting up from one side. Pay attention to both sides working together. Exhale, lift. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale. Exhale. Perfect. Good, that was 50 seconds. And now we have our dead bug. So we're doing this the really simple way. right? So it's one leg up, the other leg up. Everything is steady. So maybe you've just had a baby and these are really good exercises to get started with, just to start moving and create stability back again. Maybe you're leaking when you're coughing, sneezing, laughing, exercising. These are really good exercises to reset your core, get your breathing in line with your movement so that you can do all those things without leaking. Stable. Perfect. And now we have our quadrupeds. So here you are, hands and knees, everything steady, and then it's just a slide and in. Okay, there's soup in a bowl on your back, and you want to be sure that it doesn't spill, right? It's stability, core stability through movement, which is what happens in your day-to-day, right? And I know these exercises are really simple, but this is the best place to start because each of these exercises have progressions that you can use when you're ready to increase. And these are exercises you can do every day, 10 minutes of core work every day. This isn't like strength training where you need a day off. These are exercises you can do every day. That's it, guys. Very good. So what I recommend you do now, I'm gonna walk you through a couple minutes of stretching. So you just are gonna lie on your back and just hug your knees into your chest and relax your pelvic floor. So you don't want to feel like you're clenching anywhere in that vicinity, your glutes, pelvic floor, all in there. You want to just be relaxed and just rock back and forth. You can grab the outsides of your feet and just stretch here and rock a little bit back and forth. And again, just make sure you're not clenching anything. Then ankle on the knee, so left ankle on the right knee. And just breathe and feel a stretch in your left hip. Good, and switch. Right ankle on your left knee and just rock back and forth a little bit and feel the stretch in your right hip. Okay, one last hug into your chest. Good, and that is it. Good job. That was about 12 minutes, 10 minutes of core, a minute or two of stretching. This is something that you should try to include in your day-to-day activities. This is not like strength training where you'd want to have a day of rest in between. You should and could do this every day because it's so gentle, but it's so good for your core muscles to be woken up and to stabilize. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is June Melia. I've been a personal trainer for 25 years, and I love helping women who are dealing with pelvic floor dysfunction, prolapse. You are leaking when you're coughing, sneezing, laughing, and exercising. Feel free to like this video and subscribe so that you will know when my next video is coming out. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.